Welcome to Ophelia Hall. Not a hugger. Got it. Well, good luck and safe travels. Still not a hugger. Got it. So we're gonna... You're right. Not hugging is kind of our thing.
If you say that something is your thing, you mean that this is something that you like to do, or in this case, that you're used to doing. For example, I love playing guitar because music is my thing. You asked for it and I'm super excited to bring you another lesson on the hit Netflix series Wednesday. In today's lesson, we will explore the relationship between Wednesday and her nevermore roommate, Enid Sinclair. Even though they kinda start on the wrong foot, they end up developing a great friendship over the course of the series. By the way, this lesson contains spoilers, so in case you haven't seen the first season of Wednesday yet, you've been warned. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell down below, because every week we put out lessons like this to help you understand your favorite movies and TV series without getting lost, without missing the jokes, and without subtitles. So join our community of 7 million learners by hitting the subscribe button and bell down below right now. Now let's get started.
Silence would be appreciated. This is my writing time.
Your writing time?
I devote an hour a day to my novel. Perhaps if you did the same, your blog might be coherent. I read serial killer diaries with better punctuation.
I write in my voice. It's my truth. It's what my followers love.
Your followers are clearly imbeciles. They respond to your stories with insipid little pictures.
You mean emojis? It's how people express their feelings. You know, I realize that's a foreign concept to you.
When I look at you, the following emojis come to mind. Rope, shovel, hole. By the way, there are 2 Ds in atoms. If you're going to gossip about me, at least spell my name correctly. Turn that off. This is your final warning.
Ah! Don't mess with me. This kitty's got claws, and I'm not afraid to use them.
Silence would be appreciated. This is my writing time.
Your writing time?
If you've seen the series, you know that Wednesday is not really friendly, right? So it makes sense that her language, her way of speaking, is a little more impersonal. That's why she's using the passive voice in this case. By using the passive voice, she sounds more impersonal.
Silence would be appreciated.
Passive voice is great for more formal, impersonal communication, especially in writing. In this case, we have the structure would be plus past participle. So Wednesday says, silence would be appreciated. You could also say would be done, would be seen, would be accomplished. That's the structure that we see here. Now, if Wednesday wanted to sound more personal, she could have used the active voice. She could have said something like, I would appreciate some silence. But instead of that, she says, silence would be appreciated. Look at some examples here with this structure. If it weren't for the tech problem, the reports would be delivered today. You see, that's passive voice. The active voice version of the sentence would be, if it weren't for the tech problem, my assistant would deliver the reports today. So notice that in active voice, the focus is on the person who executes an action or who does something. In passive voice, the focus is on the action, not so much on who does or performs the action. Got it?
This is my writing time.
Your writing time?
I devote an hour a day to my novel.
When you devote time to do something, you dedicate or set aside time to do it. If you are devoted to something or someone, you take that thing or person seriously. Here's an example from one of the Addams Family movies where Uncle Fester is getting married. Check it out.
I will worship you forever. I will devote my every waking moment to your happiness alone.
Your writing time?
I devote an hour a day to my novel. Perhaps if you did the same, your blog might be coherent. I read serial killer diaries with better punctuation.
We can see here that Wednesday is criticizing Enid's vlog because apparently it lacks consistency. Something coherent makes sense and it follows a logical order. Plus, it's consistent. For example, his essay was terrible. Aside from various spelling mistakes, it wasn't at all coherent.
I read serial killer diaries with better punctuation.
I write in my voice. It's my truth.
In the context of writing, your voice is your own unique style of writing. It's how you put your sentences together, how you use punctuation, how long your paragraphs are, etc. This word, voice, could be used in the same way as style. And not only for writing, also for singing. Let's say that I'm a singer and I'm improving my singing voice. And part of the journey for me involves finding my voice. In other words, finding my unique style for singing. Got it?
It's my truth. It's what my followers love.
Your followers are clearly imbeciles.
If you call someone an imbecile, you are calling this person stupid, dumb, or idiot. A more informal word would be moron. Here's an example.
I hope so, Mr. Elford, for your sake.
Hey, I've been the Adams lawyer for years. They're morons.
Obviously.
Your followers are clearly imbeciles. They respond to your stories with insipid little pictures.
You mean emojis?
As you can see, Wednesday doesn't like online stuff very much, or technology in general, like smartphones, social media, etc. In this context, the word insipid means something that lacks interest, energy, or character. In other words, something dull and uninspiring. It's funny to see how Wednesday uses such a formal word like insipid to refer to emojis, which is something very casual and informal, right? Here's an example with the word insipid. Check it out.
But sir, if
Life isn't some cartoon musical where you sing a little song and your insipid dreams magically come true. So let it go.
You mean emojis? It's how people express their feelings. You know, I realize that's a foreign concept to you.
Wednesday doesn't usually express her feelings. She tends to be a rational and analytical person. In this context, something foreign is strange or unfamiliar. So the idea of expressing feelings is obviously unfamiliar or strange to Wednesday. And the word concept means idea. By the way, that reminds me of the funny clip from Friends where Ross is teaching, I think, Rachel and Phoebe about the concept of unagi. Check it out.
Look, I studied karate for a long time. And there's a concept you should really be familiar with. It's what the Japanese call unagi.
isn't that a kind of sushi?
No, it's a concept.
Yeah, it is. It's freshwater eel.
You know, just learning random words without studying the context, like many people do, is not a good strategy. I mean, think about it. Why do we learn English or any other language? To communicate, right? And communication happens with phrases, sentences, not individual random words. And that's exactly why we created the Fluent with Friends course, so that you can learn and improve vocabulary in context. I wish I had something like this back in the day when I was still at an intermediate level. I would watch a lot of TV series to practice my English, but I had to learn English pretty much by myself. If I'd had something like the Fluent with Friends course back then, my English would have improved much faster. Our course guides you through every episode of the first 2 seasons of Friends, contextualizing and teaching you the most important vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, and cultural aspects you need to know in order to take your English to the next level. Many academic studies actually say that Friends is the best TV series out there to learn English with. So don't wait any longer to start developing your English fluency while having a ton of fun by getting started with our 3-part masterclass. It's free and it's really simple to sign up. All you gotta do is click up here or down in the description below to get started today with the course for free. Give it a try, you're gonna love it.
When I look at you, the following emojis come to mind.
Again, the preposition to here is reduced to a new sound. So come to mind becomes come new. Come to mind. Come to mind.
When I look at you, the following emojis come to mind. Rope, shovel, hole. Rope, shovel, hole. By the way, there are 2 D's in Adams. If you're going to gossip about me, at least spell my name correctly.
Again, the to is reduced to a new sound. Going to becomes going to. Going to. So Wednesday says, if you're going to gossip about me, if you're going to gossip about me. Check it out.
If you're going to gossip about me, at least spell my name correctly. Turn that off.
More connected speech here. Turn that off. Notice that the T for that is actually joined with the vowel O in off. And the sound here is kind of a flap sound, a flap T sound. Da da da. So, that off. That off. Off. Turn that off.
This is your final warning.
Ah! Don't mess with me. This kitty's got claws and I'm not afraid to use them.
If you say to someone, don't mess with me, that's a threat. It's a warning. It's the same as saying, don't come any closer. Kitty is an informal word that we usually use for cats, and it's usually a cute way of referring to young cats, especially. The claws of an animal are the pointy nails in the animal's paw. You know, like, yeah, the claws. The phrase, the kitty's got claws, refers to a person who may look innocent and harmless at first, but who has a dangerous side. If you look at Enid, she looks so nice and innocent and colorful, right? But she also has a dangerous side. That's why she's saying, hey, don't mess with me. This kitty's got claws. Okay?
I already apologized. It's over.
Over? Tonight was just the icing on the birthday cake you couldn't even be bothered to cut. You'll use anyone to get what you want, even if it means putting them in danger. We could have died tonight because of your stupid obsession.
But we didn't. And now I'm one step closer to solving this case. That is what is important.
I've tried really, really, really hard to be your friend. Always put myself out there, thought of your feelings, told people, I know she gives off serial killer vibes, but she's really just shy.
I never asked you to do that.
You didn't have to, because that's what friends do. They don't have to be asked. And the fact that you don't know that says everything. You want to be alone Wednesday? Be alone. Tonight was just the icing on the birthday cake you couldn't even be bothered to cut.
The expression, the icing on the cake, means to make a good situation even better. Enid is being sarcastic here, because earlier in the episode, they were almost killed by a monster. The phrase, you can't be bothered to do something, means that you don't do it because you think it's unnecessary or unimportant, or because you're too tired or lazy to do it. So, here are some examples. I can't be bothered to make my bed in the morning. He drives because he can't be bothered to ride his bike. You see, so if I say I can't be bothered to do something, I don't see the importance in doing that. I don't see the relevance in doing that. So I don't do it. Okay? Enid is obviously hurt because she's referring to the surprise birthday party she had prepared for Wednesday earlier, and Wednesday couldn't care less about the surprise party. Check out this clip from The Big Bang Theory.
You applied for a mission to be a colonist on another planet and couldn't be bothered to tell me?
You will use anyone to get what you want, even if it means putting them in danger.
Okay, so here we have a common connected speech pattern. We have T plus Y. This combination sounds ch. So, what you want. What you becomes what you. What you. And the T for want is a stop T. Want. Want. So we hear what you want. What you want. Now this phrase that Enid says is really cool. She says putting them in danger, but she speaks it really connected. She says putting them in danger. Putting them in danger. So we have putting, and then putting them, and here's the trick. You have to connect the M sound for them with in. So it's a min. Putting them in. Putting them in danger. Putting them in danger. Putting them in danger. Listen again.
Even if it means putting them in danger.
But we didn't. Now I'm one step closer to solving this case. That is what is important.
This is really interesting. How to pronounce the letter S in the words. Wednesday says closer and case. In both cases, she's pronouncing the S as an S. When she says, I'm one step closer to solving this case, closer here is an adjective, and case is a noun. Usually for nouns and adjectives that have the letter S, we say S. Case, close, or closer. But for verbs with the letter S, we pronounce the S as a Z. So we say close, close, okay? So there's a clear difference between I live close to work, but I close the door when I leave. Close, close. Got it?
Now I'm one step closer to solving this case. Now I'm one step closer to solving this case. That is what is important.
This is a nice way to pronounce this word. Did you hear how Wednesday says it? She says important. Important. What we have here is T plus vowel plus N. T-A-N. In those cases, what happens is, first of all, the vowel disappears. So in this case, imagine there's no A for you to pronounce, okay? And the T here is a non-release T, meaning that I don't say import, like important. I don't release that T. Like my tongue goes up, but it stays up. It doesn't go down. So import, and then Once my tongue is up, I just continue by pronouncing the N with my nose. Important. With practice, you get so good at doing this that you don't even raise your tongue anymore. It becomes kind of a glottal thing, like important. All right? Now, here are some examples. We also say curtain, mountain, Manhattan. And the same thing happens with names. For example, Steve Martin, Bill Clinton, and Tim Burton. Here's a fun trivia for you. 4 of the 8 episodes from Wednesday were directed by Tim Burton, and he also serves as executive producer in the series. Cool, right? By the way, check out how some of the crew speaks Tim Burton's name in this clip.
Tim Burton and Wednesday Addams are like a marriage made in heaven.
Would you have an iconic filmmaker like Tim Burton? Tim Burton, such an incredible filmmaker, and Tim was always our first choice for the series Wednesday.
After 37 years, I always have fun with Tim Burton. He likes to keep things visceral.
I've tried really, really, really hard to be your friend. Always put myself out there, thought of your feelings.
In this context, Enid is frustrated because she put her reputation at risk by constantly defending Wednesday. When you put yourself out there, you are open to expose yourself and your ideas or opinions. In the context of relationships, when you put yourself out there, you make yourself noticed, in hopes that other people will see you and talk to you. Check out this example from the series where Eugene is talking about his romantic interest in Enid.
I know the chances for asking me are next to zero, but I don't care. I'll keep putting myself out there until Enid finally sees me.
And if she never does?
She will. I'm playing the long game.
Always put myself out there, thought of your feelings.
Again, the final T in thought has a flap sound, ra, which then joins or connects with the vowel for of. And that vowel for of is a schwa sound, So we say thought'a. And then we continue by pronouncing the F as a V, of your. So putting it together, we have thought of your. Thought of your
feelings. Always put myself out there, thought of your feelings. Told people, I know she gives off serial killer vibes, but she's really just shy.
This is a nice phrasal verb. To give off means to send out or to emit. Your vibes have to do with your emotional state, how you carry yourself, and how others feel around you. For example, he has so many friends because he always gives off positive vibes. I didn't walk in the room because the place was giving off scary vibes.
Told people, I know she gives off serial killer vibes, but she's really just shy.
I never asked you to do that.
You didn't have to, because that's what friends do.
Another common reduction for to here. We just thought that many times it becomes a nu, but it can also has the sound of a do, which is this case here. Do. So, I never asked you to do that. I never asked you to do that.
I never asked you to do that.
As I said earlier, even though they kind of start on the wrong foot, they end up developing a great friendship over the course of the series. In the finale, Enid turns into a wolf in order to protect Wednesday against a terrible monster. After the battle and after Wednesday defeats the main villains, she reunites with Enid in a really emotional scene. Remember how Wednesday is not much of a hugger? Check this out. Nice, right? Now let's test your knowledge by watching the scenes again without subtitles and answering some quiz questions.
Silence would be appreciated. This is my writing time.
Your writing time?
I devote an hour a day to my novel. Perhaps if you did the same, your blog might be coherent. I read serial killer diaries with better punctuation.
I write in my voice. It's my truth. It's what my followers love.
Your followers are clearly imbeciles.
The antonym of coherent is consistent, logical, unintelligible.
By the way, there are 2 D's in atoms. If you're going to gossip about me, at least spell my name correctly. Turn that off. This is your final warning.
Ah! Don't mess with me. This kitty's got claws, and I'm not afraid to use them.
The phrase, "this kitty's got claws," refers to someone who looks innocent but could be dangerous. someone who looks scary but could be harmless? Someone who looks angry but could be peaceful?
I already apologized. It's over.
Over? Tonight was just the icing on the birthday cake you couldn't even be bothered to cut. You'll use anyone to get what you want, even if it means putting them in danger. We could have died tonight because of your stupid obsession.
But we didn't. And now I'm one step closer to solving this case. That is what is important.
The expression "the icing on the cake" means to make something bad even worse, to turn something bad into something good, to make something good even better. Alright, so now it's time for the comment of the day. And the comment of the day comes from the lesson Top Gun Maverick that we did a while ago here on the channel. Caesar says, "Hi there. I would like to take a minute to say that this is the best channel to learn English around the world, and I appreciate what you have done for many people, teaching them grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and more. I never miss up the opportunity to learn from all of you and your videos. Thanks a million." Thank you so much, Caesar, for the amazing comment. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad to see that you have been learning a lot with the videos. And now I have a question for you guys. What have you learned in today's lesson? Any questions or comments? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm curious to know. Awesome! You've made it until the end of the lesson. Great job, you rock! Don't forget to like this video, share this video with a friend who's also learning English and who is a big fan of Wednesday, and subscribe to the channel in case you're not subscribed yet. And if you want to keep learning English while having a ton of fun, check out this lesson next. Here it is.
Time is your greatest enemy. Phase 1 of the mission will be a low-level ingress attacking in 2-plane teams. You'll fly along this narrow canyon to your target. Radar-guided surface-to-air missiles defend the area. These SAMs are lethal. But they were designed to protect the skies above, not the canyon below.
That's because the enemy knows no one is insane enough to try and fly below them.
That's exactly what I'm going to train you to do. On the day, your altitude will be 100 feet, maximum. You exceed this altitude,